Welcome back everybody. At the end of the last video we were talking about installing 4 gate post lights. All of them run from the mains. So let's get to it. These 2 gate posts you see here are going to have the main supply run up on the outside edge. The blocks themselves are solid, so unfortunately I can't run the mains up through inside them. What you see me using here is the impact resistant conduit for the cable to run through. As you can see here, the weather has turned. We've had a lot of rain recently, and unfortunately this conduit needs to go underneath the paving. The conduit will then run underneath the concrete slab, and then from this corner all the way back to the main greenhouse to add to the main supply. So this impact resistant conduit needs to go down around 18 inches ideally. It's a case of just digging it out. On one side is the foundations to the garage, so that's actually a little bit easier. But on the other side I'm just coming across bamboo roots, which take a lot of digging out. I'm not going to bore you by watching this, so I'm just going to speed it up as fast as I can. You can see Dash here coming and going, coming to check on progress. And here you can see the final dugout part right up next to the greenhouse. Comes along and then it's going to go up the little wall. And the following morning, just clearing out the very bottom of this area so that I can start to put in the conduit. Just to give you a small idea of some of the bamboo roots that I've dug out, each of these is about 4 or 5 centimeters, about 1.25 inches diameter, and about 3 or 4 meters long. And now it's time to actually start installing the conduit from one of the gate posts. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button, do all the usual stuff. It would be much appreciated. It's time to run the conduit along the back of the garage here up to the greenhouse. At the moment there's of course no cable in here. It's just dry fit, so just making sure that everything fits together. And then later I will actually push the cable through. And on to the final stretch. This particular impact resistant conduit is basically a plastic, so it can be cut with the same pipe cutters that I used before for cutting the copper water pipes. And on to the final corner where it enters the greenhouse. Over now to where the conduit comes into the greenhouse and then up to the main supply. Just to give you a rundown now of where the cable actually runs. So it comes out of the greenhouse, goes all the way along the back of the garage here, where it comes to the first two smaller gate posts that are not yet built. The cable then runs into the first gate post and then out to the second gate post here. Then the power comes back underneath the big concrete slab, goes across where the paving will be towards the other two gate posts. Here you see the conduit running across. This will be under the paving, as I've said, where it will go up this first gate post. Then back down again. From here it will run under the paving across to the second gate post. Next up, it's time to actually start feeding the cable through the conduit. The 90-degree bends are the most difficult, but once it goes through, it becomes a bit easier. And now outside, it's time to start running the cable through the conduit behind the garage. These are big, long, straight pieces, so this is pretty quick. And feeding the cable up into the two gate posts. And then across under the paving to the other two gate posts. I needed to make a few little adjustments along the way here if it was too long or too short, and put the connectors in place. Once all the cable had been fed through the system, I was then able to just quickly go back and use the special compound glue to hold these together. It seals it from the elements. And all done. Though this cable is not actually connected to any power supply yet, I just wanted to make sure that the ends were covered As I said before, we've had plenty of rain recently, and the last thing I need is corroded cables before I even start. Haven't done the final part of the cable underneath the paving to the last gate post yet. Basically because the whole of that paving area needs to come up. It's not even, so that'll be for a later date. These stainless steel holders will be used to hold the conduit in place, and more on that hopefully next time. So some of you may be asking, why haven't you finished anything? Basically, this paving hasn't gone in because I needed to run the cabling first. Also, all of the supplies, concrete, sand, blocks, etc., have to come from the local kind of big box store. Um, the blocks for these posts, for example, I can only carry 12 at a time in my little car. With that in mind, I finally bought a Daihatsu Hijet. It's called a K truck. They have a little 650cc engine, but they'll carry 350 kilograms in the back, which I think is about 1,000 pounds. It's a 2006 model with only 25,000 kilometers on the gauge. More on that next time. Also coming up in the next episode, a very good Japanese friend of mine, Koji, came along to help get started on some more of this paving. Yeah, he always looks angry, but thanks, Koji. Thanks to all my subscribers. If you want to watch more or subscribe, then please click here, and I'll see you next time.